Home is where connections are made, memories are formed, and ideas are born. And no one knows home better than NFM. Thanks for tuning in to I Am Home, the podcast that goes deeper than trends and dives into what it means to make your house a home.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to I Am Home, the Home Life Best Life podcast. I'm Tyler Weiskup, joined by my co-host who gets straight A's in charm, charisma, and conversation. It's Becca Sudbeck.
Hi, Tyler.
Hi, Becca. And our other co-host, she has the neon lava lamp energy your freshman soul craves. It's Hilary Waltemath.
Hey, Tyler.
Hi, Hilary. Hey, person listening. If you're a student gearing up for the new school year or a parent helping one get settled, this episode is for you. We're diving into the latest dorm and apartment decor trends and exploring how today's students are transforming their spaces into true reflections of who they are. But first, let me tell you why we're even doing this podcast, and that's because NFM is more than just your everything home store. We're in the business of improving lifestyles because your home life should be your best life. And you can learn more at nfm.com. And Hilary, this episode, you're going to guide us through, and you've selected some really awesome trends for us to go through.
Yeah. So we did this last year and had a lot of
it's already been a year.
I know. We may have been like later.
I know, but not that much later.
Yeah, but
Like,
it's
So this
crazy.
is like our sophomore attempt.
Yes,
now.
we're going into our second year.
We're so cultured at this point. Yeah,
we are so cultured.
Yeah.
But yeah, last year we kind of dove into Pinterest predicts dorm trends. And we talked a lot about how like back to school shopping has evolved. It's not just about checking off the list of essentials. Again, continuing to see strong emphasis on personal expression, creating a cozy vibe, curating a space that feels like you. And for today's students in particular, it's more about not just being class ready, but setting the tone for the entire year that you've got ahead of you that reflects your personality and your priorities. And this generation that's going into college continues to value sustainability, individuality, and mental wellness. And those values start to show up in how they shop and how they decorate their spaces. And it's not just a place to crash or a place to study. It's becoming like a curated sanctuary that's so important. Yeah. So yeah, not focusing on the back to school like checklist of supplies.
Yeah.
We're diving into the fun stuff again on how you can transform these four walls, transform that twin XL loft bed that you've got to make it feel like a fun reflection.
Yeah. And it's a fun challenge.
Yeah, it is. So I've got 4 for you today. And this is coming out, I think, before Pinterest predicts. So it'll be fun to see how aligned we are. Yeah, I'm pretty confident.
You should be.
Thank you. So I've got 4 to share with you today, and I've got some visuals, of course. So the first one is the one we're calling kind of the Trailblazer trend. This is all about the desert daydream, kind of inspired by the American West. If you're trying to create this like safe haven away from all the digital noise, you're maybe looking for an opportunity to reconnect with nature. You're inspired by that, and like a little bit of like history with the American West. So colors in here are fun. They're like sun-washed, earthy tones. So think reds, browns, oranges, dusty greens. The patterns and prints in this are so fun.
Yeah, I love these.
Horse icons, cowboy boots, cowboy hats, cowhide in like fun interpretations, like seeing some of that in fashion as well too. Kind of this, we've seen this kind of like trend remixed a couple of times. We had like coastal cowgirl a couple of times. And so this is getting like a little bit more fun and playful. And so if you have like aspirations of being a horse girl, here's the remix of that. So you can see in the bottom left is some bedding that's got horses on it. And it's like fun to lean into a theme that doesn't feel like overly juvenile either. So it's fun. You don't have to go from like your like kids room, like straight into adulthood. Like you can still have a little bit of fun with it. I love the little cowboy boots in the top right. They're like Polaroid photo holders. So like,
cool.
Great way to like add that fun little icon, but display some fun photos of you and your friends. The bottom right is, you've probably like remember some of those, I don't want to call them horse blankets, but that like striped, almost like Navajo inspired. So this is like a fun remix on that, where we've got kind of block print of stripes in different colors and like thicknesses.
Yeah, we've got pinks and greens and oranges and they're all dusty with that like Old West feel.
Yeah. So like fun to kind of lean into. There's like a fun photo of like cactus photography in there as well too. Adorable little rug with a cowboy hat on it. So you can like really lean into this theme. And so I also have prepared some fun, maybe decor tips and ideas to consider, because we know we're trying to stretch our budgets as far as we can. You don't have a ton of space to decorate. So really fun one for this one is to display your accessories as decor. So, find a way to mount your hats on the wall, maybe above your bed. So it's a place to store them so they don't get like smashed or damaged, but makes for cute wall decor also. Or if you have like a couple fun pairs of cowboy boots, like display those up on a shelf versus like shoving them away in your closet.
Cowboy boots take up a lot of room.
They do. They're not like a
really
compact,
lots of room.
Compact shoe. I even saw one idea that was super cute. I should have put a photo in here, but I don't know if they bought like an inexpensive cowboy hat or one maybe they didn't wear any before, but they like hand painted florals on it too.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
So yeah, if you've seen what is it, Kimosabi store in Aspen.
They have one in Park City now also.
Yeah. So where you make those like custom hat designs. So you can like lean into some of that and display it as wall decor also in your room. There's also, if you like a macrame wall hanging would be great in here. Relatively easy in terms of like a craft or DIY too. You can even buy kits with tutorials. So a really fun kind of like project. Maybe you can get some of your friends together and make you some wall decor for this one as well too. So that is the Trailblazer trend.
Is there specific like students that this gravitate towards this that you're thinking of, or do they all reside in Texas?
No, this does not restrict it to geographic locations at all. But we, so these are some of the trends we're going to be bringing to life, like in stores, and kind of curating items that fit this aesthetic. And so there's some fun stories like we've kind of written to support this. So this is, about person who is like looking to blaze trails. They're maybe a little bit adventurous. They appreciate the outdoors. Maybe they're inspired by like geographical locations, but you don't have to live there to kind of embrace that theme either. So
gotcha. Yeah. I think it's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks adorable in all the right ways.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. So this one is called the Cultivator. And this is about embracing the rural countryside, bringing the outdoors in to create sort of a comfortable homestead. So we've seen this like homesteading trend become more popular. People are looking to maybe grow some of their own herbs, veggies, fruits, cutting down on some of the expense of purchasing those things. And it just like feels good to do those things to some. This is for the person that's passionate about sustainability. If you're a little bit crunchy, a little bit granola, this might be the one for you too. We've talked about this a couple of times, but decor is heavily influenced and inspired by food. And especially in like the iconography. So we've had tomatoes are popular, cherries we've talked about. We're seeing some of those like strawberry icons as well. again, inspired by nature. So you can kind of see the color palette come from that. So blues, greens, yellows, browns, and then like a fun sprinkling of pastels in there too. Another opportunity to mix fun prints and patterns with plaids, florals, toile, garden and bakery motifs, like I mentioned. So on the bottom right photo is a little vase that looks like stacked tomatoes. And then on the right is like a pastry lamp.
I was going to say, is that like a
essentially.
bread lamp?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So like seeing these
that's
kind
really
of
funny.
pop up
Yeah.
as well too. I think when we talked about lighting, we had that tomato lamp.
Yes.
When was that? Beginning of the year. So
Right.
continuing to see this kind of evolve in new and fun ways. And so maybe you look to bring in one of these pieces instead of like a traditional kind of like desk or task lamp.
Yeah.
Texturally, like linens, knits, cottons, kind of those natural materials too. And as far as like a couple of like tips or decor ideas to kind of bring this to life, faux greenery has come a long way.
I was just going to ask, because that's kind of what some of this stuff looks like.
Yeah. So maybe you've got a window facing the right direction that you could have some live plants, but maybe not. Maybe you have an interior room, or your room, you're not getting the right amount of light. So in the top two, like middle and left photos are ivy that's been like faux ivy, like you've probably seen on top of like kitchen cabinets in the past.
Right.
But like in a fun application. So it's kind of like attached along the ceiling and kind of trailing down. And it's lightweight, so it's simple to like put up there with some command strips. You could even put some like LED twinkly lights up there too to set the vibe. But this has been not a super new trend. I think we've seen it around for a couple years now.
My kids always, my daughter, when we go to Dave & Buster's, gets the fake ivy for her.
Oh, I did.
Prices.
How about that? Dave & Buster's is on it.
Yep. Oh, like it, and I would say like over the last year.
Yeah.
Like multiple boxes of the ivy, and it has twinkle lights in it.
They're not getting that silly putty that like makes funny sounds when you shove it back in the container.
We're usually, she's buying decor items.
I love that.
It's really funny. I'm like, okay. I mean, I guess it's better than the putty or the candy, but yeah.
Oh, that's so
I feel like
funny.
I've seen a lot of it there.
That proves how relevant it is, I guess.
I mean, I feel like for people that are going to Dave & Buster's.
Yeah. You can embrace some of your own personal expression.
Yeah.
Some other fun wall decor ideas, like you can maybe clip some like florals or leaves and do kind of like either a pressed flower, frame it, or you can do like stamping with that. I don't know if you remember doing that in school at all.
Yes.
But fun. Yeah, really inexpensive way to maybe add a little extra decor to your space. And then if you've got the right light coming in through the window, if you have it or not, there's like some really interesting like little garden kits that make it a little simpler to maintain, that would fit in your windowsill as well too. But I giggled at this. I was such a peace frog kid. Do you remember the peace frogs?
Oh yeah.
And so like frogs are an icon that are making a bit of a return, I think, as well too.
Good.
So
well deserved.
Yeah. So maybe peace frogs will have a comeback specifically. We'll see. And then I thought this rug on the left is really cute. It's kind of like an interpretation of like a pond.
Okay, that's
almost.
what I was like. Is it like a crop circle?
It is giving crop circle a little bit too.
I thought it was a putt-putt thing.
Hey, see? All
I can see that
by
also.
Nature. So we're on the right track.
Yeah.
And in the top right, you can see like the little Keurig coffee maker, and then the mug is like a strawberry, and there's like some strawberry prints on all the other cups that are in there too. So again, seeing a lot of interior influence coming from started from nature. Now it's kind of like evolving into like food icons, which has been really fun too. So
this one feels very like DIY. Like you can like pull this together with a lot of things, like you said, from nature that you're able to do, or things that you like handcraft and pull together yourself, and then find some cool pops of fun, like your tomato lamps and bread lamps and things like that, to add just a little bit of
how do you not look at that
something
and not smile, you know?
You can't.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, ready for the third one?
Of course.
So this one we're calling the Innovator. So this is like a digital daydream where retro design kind of meets the innovation of AI. It's very digitally driven, kind of 80s Memphis Milano inspired. This is all about dopamine decorating, which we've talked about a number of times. It's very playful, very whimsical. Colors in here, it's a fun mix of like primary colors paired back with some pastels. Prints is very abstract, also very geometric. What's really fun about this one too is you're getting kind of like some space age influence. So I've got like a little alien pillow in the top right corner, even seen like almost like UFO looking like figurines, or even in some art as well. That's really fun. It's not too serious. Things don't have like a straight edge necessarily. So like the mirror on the bottom left,
really interesting shaped mirror.
So very asymmetrical in design. Checkerboard pattern is getting a bit of a remix too. So the blanket in the top middle could be fun inspiration for like bedding, rugs, but it's like a patchwork situation of different checkerboard prints. Some are kind of like distorted. They have this kind of like wave effect to them. And I love the photo in the bottom right. It feels very reminiscent of inflatable furniture.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah. So like seeing that, I think we talked about last month, was it last month we talked about different styles throughout the decades and how they're like kind of making a comeback. We kind of talked about 90s and like 2000s are going to be like coming back around again. So there we are with some like an interpretation on some inflatable.
Yeah. And this isn't inflatable, or is it just an updated design of the inflatable?
That's a good question. I should have like dug into it more, but I saw the photo and I was like, this is perfect.
It just looks great.
Yes. And then the photo in the middle, like you can see it there. It doesn't feel like there's like maybe a rhyme or reason to what's going on, but they've got like a wall mounted sconce that almost is like donut shaped. This little like wall sconce. You don't have to hardwire it. It's got a cord that you can just plug in. But it's again, that like almost UFO reminiscent, like this UFO donut, like there's like some sort of like crossover that's happening there. It's very collected. There's some posters pinned up, some photos. You're just like, all the things that make you happy are going to have a space in your dorm, apartment, room, whichever. So for some fun kind of like decor tips and ideas, LED lights galore. You can give your bed underglow. You can put them behind your TV or your monitor. There's some really fun technology behind it too, where you can like connect it to like change with the music or color changing bulbs. I think we've talked about that before, like the influence the color of light has on you. You can embrace some of that too. Maybe replace your standard bulb with a color changing bulb, again, to bring in more color, change the mood or the vibe in your room as well too. It's like come so far from like the rope light that I had twisted around my bunk bed. You could line the ceiling of your room too. There's like endless ways you can kind of play with that.
All the new technologies that we've talked about them on the podcast before, of like the patterns and things that you can make. And they've got ones that are wood tone and that have like beautiful colors still. And then you've got ones that are, again, you can color change and pick it to suit your mood of the day. And so, and they're becoming more and more affordable as well. So I think it's a great option, and I'm excited to see how people experiment with them, especially in a dorm space where it feels like a great time to experiment.
It's truly a blank slate. What you're getting is the most neutral, unoffensive blank slate. So perfect opportunity. And to your point about like LED, like those will last forever. It's not something that is going to like burn up on you and need to be replaced.
Yeah. I think this is interesting. First off, I think Dr. Seuss would be very helpful at home
for sure.
in dopamine decor.
Yes.
But it feels like the easiest way, the style, to just kind of like pick out just all of your favorite things and throw them at the wall. Whereas like I love Trailblazer and how that comes together in Cultivator, but it feels like you got to be like in a little bit more of a box. To me, this is like, if you love aliens, if you love plant life, if you love like you could have an electric horse, I'm sure, riding a unicorn, all that kind of stuff, and just put it together. I really love that Innovator, and just being able to kind of like show everything about your personality as much as possible through this design style.
Yeah. And when you hear like inspired by AI, you're like, what?
Yeah.
We know how like AI is getting better, but it just does some funky, unexpected things. So it's kind of like this merge of like retro and like the funkiness that's happening with AI renderings and feeling futuristic as well too. So it's a fun blend of those things.
Yeah, definitely. It's beautiful.
Okay, you ready for the fourth and final?
I wish it didn't have to end, but
I know. I could come up with a million of these just for fun. Not that I want a chance to redo it or anything, but okay. So the fourth one we're calling the Dreamer. So this is a bohemian wonderland. It's very free spirited.
Fun.
Things feel kind of like one of a kind and collected. And it has kind of like a romantic feel to it as well. So colors are kind of sun-drenched also, but more vibrant. So you think like mixing pink and red would be criminal, but no, like there's really fun interpretations of that. For patterns, prints, and icons, like scalloped edges is very popular, perfect kind of trend to embrace that. More folkloric symbols. So if you think of like what Anthropology does with their pattern mixing, like this is it. Everything is kind of like patchwork inspired, quilted, has a lot of feminine details, like bows we've seen for quite a while. The heart icon is super fun here. But the other one that's kind of making its way into more popularity is swans.
Cool.
So the photo in the top right is actually a swan lamp.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a swan with almost like a globe orb on its back, and the neck is kind of like craned and turned around. So very feminine, very sweet, feels very elegant as well too, which is fun. So for some decor ideas to kind of bring this to life, is you can take scrap fabrics, scrap paper, and frame them up as wall decor. So the photo on the bottom right, I had a hard time like finding like a good example that didn't look like a Pinterest fail, but it's whether it's like concert tickets, photos from your friends, postcards from travels. You can do a lot of fun pattern mixing with it's scrapbook paper or scrap fabrics. I think we've talked about junk journaling before. So this is like a wall decor interpretation of that. That's really fun. The other idea I saw that I thought could be really fun, and is not the best photo, but in the top left, they actually covered part of the cinder block wall with
like a
curtain panels.
Oh,
so you can do this without putting holes in the wall. Just use like a tension rod, like old school, like shower tension rod. And I think in this example, they went for a more neutral vibe, but I think there's like 3 or 4 panels. So it gives it more of like a ruched textural detail. But if you're feeling really uninspired by the cinder block walls, it's a fun way to
get rid of them.
And you could mix fun patterns in here as well too. Like they went with a linen option here, and if you're somebody who hates installing peel and stick wallpaper, this is a way to like get that fun color pattern without maybe ripping your hair out because it just keeps sticking in the wrong spots and won't line up just right. Another fun trend we're kind of seeing, I didn't find a good photo of it, was like some DIY garland. So again, taking scraps of ribbon, or maybe you've got some clothes that you're not getting much use out of. You could tear it into like strips and almost create like a tie them into bows and create some like cute garland that way. So more is more with pattern mixing here. The bottom left photo, they've got like floral wallpaper on one of the walls, and then the bedding is like bows that are all kind of like strung together. I think it's like stitched on there, but there's a stitched bow detail that makes it kind of fun. Perfect opportunity to get some inspirational quotes on the wall. So there's like a little calendar on the top, and it says, "What if it all goes well?" So perfect, just like sentiments to kind of surround yourself with, because college is tough. It's a tough transition, and so perfect opportunity to kind of give yourself some positive reinforcement and positive affirmations. It doesn't have to be cheesy. You can, or if you like it cheesy, you can certainly embrace that too. So
fair. Interesting. I'm curious. You said when you were trying to find some examples of like the displaying photos and tickets and using patterns and textures, and like Pinterest fail version of that. I'm curious, like, is there the line for you? What does that look like? And like, how do you kind of like mix and match these textures and patterns and give this dreamer flair and play it right?
Yeah, I think I'm thinking about what I saw. I think what like kept me from picking some of those photos is that it didn't have that like collected feel. Like it was maybe trying to feel too matchy or like selected. So everything felt new, and like there wasn't like enough mix of things going on, I guess, is maybe a way to put it. Like all the frames were the same. So mix up your frames in like the shape, the finish, colors. You could paint some of them, like that, like detail is appreciated here. Whereas like it felt very much like somebody went out to one shop, bought everything, what was there, instead of truly thinking about what am I drawn to? What do I like? Why does what's like sticking out to me versus like trying to check it off the list is the not so concise way to say that, I guess.
I think we've said this before, like you can build these kinds of things over time as well, and kind of select them when you're drawn to them versus like feeling like you have to have something up the minute that you move into a space. And I like that you leaned into like mixed like patterns and textures and being able to kind of like just draw them all together versus like feeling like you have to pick from the book of
here
like,
are the 6 options, I'll buy one of each kind of thing. And I can't remember where I was reading the article, but they were talking about the art of slow decorating. You know, we've talked to some interior designers where they can like crank that out real quick from like an unbiased perspective, but to the rest of us that don't do that professionally, like that takes some more time. So lean into like the slow decorating of it all. I think that we're going to start to hear more and more about that as well too, is collect things over time that you appreciate and are drawn to, you love, make you happy. And lean into that.
This is awesome. Beautiful as always.
Those are the 4. So I have to ask you, hypothetically speaking, you're about to head off to college. You've got a blank cinder block dorm to move into. Which of the 4 are you embracing?
Becca, do you have a clear favorite?
Oh, I don't know if I have a clear favorite. I'm torn between the Trailblazer and this Dreamer one. I feel like I can.
Oh, a mix of the two.
I can
think would be
relate
very
to both
much
of
you.
those so
Uh-huh.
very much. Even very much post going off to college.
Yeah.
But I would say one of those, or maybe a mixture of both of those. Like
Yeah.
I love like girly things
Uh-huh.
and bows and ruffles and all of those sorts of things. But I'm also huge on the like cowboy, cowgirl, desert west. Like I love all of that stuff.
Yes.
Too, so I don't know.
Yeah. I can see it. I can totally see it. How about you, Tyler?
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of old country songs lately.
Have you?
So I think I want to be a horse girl. Maybe.
You want to be a horse girl?
Yeah. Some, 6-shooter type stuff.
Okay.
Just, like Toy Story version, Andy's original room.
Yeah.
I think that would be adorable. And if not that, I think that's my clear favorite in this moment that I'm in right now. But Innovator, I think, is super fun as well. Just like showing all of your personality.
I can see that.
That works really well.
Oh, I can totally see. We need to like figure out how to display the bottom of a cowboy boot that has Tyler painted on it instead of Andy.
Yes. Nail it. What about you, Hilary?
Oh gosh. I very much into like all things girly as well, but as sort of a foodie, I find so much charm in the like food icons. I think it would be so fun to embrace a little bit of that playfulness as well too. So
that feels right for you.
I need a little croissant lamp or something. Yeah. I have my little olive earring on today.
Oh,
so there's my
perfect.
little.
Oh yeah, you do.
You're already showing
yes,
it. Yeah.
I even have like a little corn on the cob too for Husker game days.
There we go. It was right in front of us this whole time. We didn't even know.
I know. I didn't even consider it.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Hilary. This has been awesome as always. I want to thank Becca, of course, our producers, Ann and Scott, and all our listeners. Thanks for liking and subscribing wherever you listen. But don't forget to send us your questions. You can do that at nfm.com/podcast. And that's going to do it for us today. Bye for now. But remember, home is what you make it.
Thanks for joining us today for I Am Home with Tyler Weisskopf, Hilary Waltemath, and Becca Sudbeck. No one knows home quite like NFM. So if you'd like more information on home design at NFM, please check out nfm.com and leave us a review on the podcast platform of your choice.